In today's episode, we will be bringing the end dimension to the overworld as we transform the end portal room. Not only will we be testing our skills as we attempt to defeat the Ender Dragon for the first time in this world, but we will also be paying a visit to the ancient city. So stick around to see if we make it out alive or if we will break our perfect streak. And if this is the kind of content you like to see, please consider liking the video and let me know what other projects you'd like to see me take on in the future. Where is my carrot on a stick? It's not in the random chest. I literally can't find it anywhere. This is making no sense. Maybe it's with the fishing rods? Ah, yes, there it is. Okay, cool. Well, I have a silly idea. And it's going to require parrots. So, we're going on a little journey to the jungle. I could tell you what the parrots are for, but I think it would be more fun to just show you. And I have my inventory all packed with only the essentials, so let's get going. So I needed the parrots because I wanted some background dancers for an idea that I had for a short, and they did their job perfectly. They're so cute when they dance and I love it. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, the short is up on my channel. I cannot share it on here, unfortunately, due to the music that's within it, but it was a lot of fun to make. Now, as much as I love taking the scenic route, it is time that we focus on acquiring a faster method of traveling in this world. And similar to our parrot friends, I really want to be able to fly. I'm putting together a handful of items before we head off to the stronghold, starting with some blocks for bridging. And after making our way to a nearby fortress, we are collecting some blaze rods and ender pearls so that we can craft Eyes of Ender. Since obtaining an elytra is our main goal, we do of course need to get some books to enchant it. So I'm going to buy a mending book and an unbreaking book, and we will go ahead and put those together to combine for the elytra. But I also do want to go ahead and grab some glass because I want to collect the dragon's breath while I'm there. And while we're on the topic of the elytra, I am over at the combo farm, so I can grab some sugarcane and we will turn that into paper. And we will need a stack of gunpowder to go with it so that we can make rockets once we are in the outer ends. Swapping out our netherite for diamond gear, we now have our inventory and our ender chest all ready to go, so it's time to head off towards the stronghold. And our first pearl throw tells us that we need to head south, so we're going to say goodbye to Richard for now and hop in a boat and head that way. overall, the dragon fight went pretty smoothly, though I did get thrown across the island a couple of times, and I may have made eye contact with the Enderman once or twice. But once all the end crystals were gone, we hung around and collected dragon's breath before finishing the dragon fight. Now with that out of the way, let's scaffold up to the end gateway and head out into the outer end. I personally prefer the trapdoor method to get through the gateway rather than the ender pearl method, and I'm definitely glad we played it safe this time because look how close to the edge I landed. That could have been bad. I think this is the smallest little island I've ever spawned on right off of the bat. And now that we have crafted the logs into wood plank slabs, we can begin the long process of bridging until my pinky needs a break, and then we'll take a little rest and then bridge some more. For now, we are heading north because if I've learned anything in Minecraft, it's that if you're ever looking for a structure, just go in one direction. You'll eventually bump into it. Just go straight. There is a small end city, but no ship in sight, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab the shulkers at the opening of the structure, but today I'm really just focused on finding that elytra since I don't have many rockets to spare. And after we get a gunpowder farm going, we can always come back and do some proper end city raiding later. After traveling about 4,000 blocks, there is finally an end ship in sight. First, let's take out these shulkers at the entrance of the city. Now, since this ship is luckily over land, we can just scaffold directly up to it. And we're just going to pop in from the bottom, take out this shulker, and then finally, the wings we've been waiting so long for are ours. And of course, we can't forget the dragon head at the front of the ship. A couple of shulker boxes will hold me over in the meantime, so let's head back to the end gateway and pop on through to the center island. We are back in the end portal room now, and I wanted to go ahead and show you what we've been working on during the live streams. Now, over a couple of different sessions, we have mined out and decorated this large tunnel that connects the portal room to the Nether hub, and it will make traveling to and from for the rest of the project much faster. Not only is it wide enough to fly through with ease, but below each slab is soul soil, so we can run through very quickly with soul speed 3, but since it's soil and not soul sand, it doesn't slow us down without the enchantment. I wanted the materials in the tunnel to be representative of where it leads, so we used purple and endstone to decorate this inner portion, but we used 2 different patterns just to vary it up a little. And if you want to see the full process of designing and building the tunnel, the live streams are up on my channel now. Before we move on to the next phase, there is one last thing that I want to do. The tunnel is spawn-proof, but at some point this little guy made it into the tunnel, and as we built around him, he picked up some stray blocks and has been hanging out with us since. And I thought we could give him a shulker head so that he can be somewhat of a mascot for the tunnel. And if you think we should give him a name, leave a suggestion in the comments below. Now that we have found the stronghold and made an efficient path to it, we can finally start to focus on transforming the portal room. I've done some very rough conceptual planning, so let's walk through my thought process. I don't regularly build with materials from the end, so I want to embrace the opportunity and bring aspects of the end cities into the portal room. The most recognizable feature from the end is arguably the endless looming void, so we will have to find a way to make our own version of it. And at the center will of course be the end portal, but I want it to be resting on an end island. And of course, we will need more end islands around the edges. I do also want to incorporate some of the structures from the end cities along the edges somehow, or at least my own version of the end cities. We can even use the bridge design to connect to the center island with the portal. And I definitely want a place to display the dragon egg and a dragon head, so we'll have to find a way to incorporate those in as we go. And last but not least, we will use chorus plants and end rods to decorate wherever we can. Like I said, a very rough conceptual plan, but I think it gets the idea across, so let's give it a go. We prepared most of the design and creative on a live stream, and I finalized the rest of the design on my own over the weekend, so we're gathering a majority of the materials needed to start the project. But one of the blocks we are using quite a bit of is Skulk, which means we need to go on a little side quest to the ancient city. This will be my first time raiding an ancient city in this world, so wish me luck. That honestly went a lot better than expected, and I definitely would not have made it out unscathed without the elytra. And after about 4.5 hours, these are all the goodies that we came out with. I'm pretty happy about the 7 notch apples and the skeleton skull, but what I'm most excited about is the other side music disc. Now we are back at the portal room with all of the materials we need for this build, which includes nearly 60 stacks of sculk blocks and 67 stacks of black glass. First thing we have to do is clear out the space needed for this project. So I'm pretty sure if I just do this... Yep, there we go. So much room for activities. Now that we're done taking blocks away, it's time to start adding some blocks back in. And with that, all that's left to do is place this dragon egg and the portal room is officially complete. As you walk through the nether portal, this is the view that you are met with. To get to the end portal, there are some floating slabs on end rods where you can do a little parkour to get to the center island, or if you find yourself below the end portal, you can just head through this opening to access the bridge. And if you look in this corner, you can see we have the dragon head out on display. I got the idea for this on Pinterest, so as always, you can check out the linked Pinterest board in the description to see the original image I drew inspiration from. On these 2 walls, we have my rendition of the end city buildings, and I decided to incorporate a sculk catalyst wainscot since it blends well with both the end stone color as well as the portal itself. And on this side, we have a building that is pretty much the same as what you'd find in the outer ends, but with a couple of alterations to tie it in with the other structures. And last but not least, we made our own void for the floor, ceiling, and some portions of the walls. To create the void, we went down a handful of layers and aligned everything with sculk blocks. And then we alternated between layers of end rods and black glass, and did that a couple of different times before we got to the last layer, where instead of doing end rods, we went in and placed down sculk veins instead, which give it that nice little starry texture once you cover it with a final layer of black glass. If I go in and turn off the shaders, you can start to see the layers a little bit better since the end rods and the sculk blocks are not as glowy, but I still feel like it looks like the void even without shaders. I do wish light sources had more of a glow to them in vanilla though. That would be very nice. Now let's just hop our way back to the nether portal and make our way back home. It's so nice being able to travel back and forth so quickly, and I'm excited to get more of these tunnels added into the world in the future. I wanted to go ahead and show you all the materials we gathered as we were digging out the space needed for the portal room. As you can see, we've got lots of deep slate and cobbled deep slate, along with plenty of other materials. So I'm seeing some more organization in our future. In the last episode, we asked for name suggestions for the 4 axolotls that we added to this pond, and Debug suggested that we name the pink one Laurelin. I think that is a lovely name, so thank you, Debug. We still need names for the other 3, so if you have any suggestions, leave a comment down below. To those of you who made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Please consider leaving a like on the video, and if you're interested in more content, check out this other video that YouTube thinks you might like.